Hi everyone, it's Kat here. I have tried multiple times to figure out what I want to do with this channel, and I decided that it can be a little bit of everything. So I'm biting the bullet and starting out. I'm not used to being in front of a camera, so it's not something that I've wanted to do, and I just decided I'm gonna do it. I got the inspiration to do this because I feel like I can provide something in the soap community that I haven't seen yet, and that is a solid information backstory on some of the characters that either you know and love, or maybe you're a new watcher and you are curious as to who they are and how they're related to each other. So I'd like to start there. My first thing I noticed is online there's this new craze about who Marcus Hunter is from Days of Our Lives. He was a character that was friends with Steve. And I feel like there's a good backstory there from like other videos that, touch on who he was in like such a surface level way. And I wanted to, kind of do a deeper dive because he was one of my favorite side characters back then. And, if you'd like to hear that, then let me know and I can do a whole video on it. But I basically just wanted to come on here and see if you guys would be interested in having videos of different backstories from back in the past and different characters and how they related to the show then, and maybe some of them even now, not only for Days but for General Hospital and some of the other shows too. Like I've been really getting into One Life to Live lately, in the 90s specifically, and so I kind of want to be like your one place to go to figure out all the information you ever needed to know about a character that you care about or want to care about because you didn't get a chance to watch it then. I also love to do the music videos with the scenes from the different couples and the different storylines, so you'll see some of those as well coming up here because I'm going to start a new one. I think the show will be a menage of pretty much everything you could think of. It's going to be soap world, by definition, and I'm adding to my collection every day, as you'll always have access to my store and where to find me on Facebook. I also wanted to be a presence on YouTube here and be like your one place to find everything soap related. If that's something you're interested in, I'd love to do that. I'd love some feedback. And there's so many people out there that are always asking questions about like different characters, and I don't want there to be any more confusion anymore. I want to be able to clear some of that up for a lot of different people. So I want to start out here by talking about Marcus Hunter. He was a friend of Steve's. He came into it in November of 1987. And he left sometime in 1992. He grew up with Steve. They grew up in an orphanage because obviously Steve's mother had to give him up so that his father wouldn't hurt him. Marcus's story wasn't blatantly obvious at first. He didn't know who his parents were. And Steve was really the only family he ever had. When he came to Salem and they got back in touch, it was just so easy for them to fall back into that brotherhood, It was like the one true family member either of them ever had. By that time, Steve had found Adrian and Jack and Joe, met Kayla and fell in love with her. But very down to his roots, Marcus was and always would be a brother to him.
Not Madison. Steve.
Marcus? Marcus?
Is that you, man?
Couldn't be two of me, dude. How you doing? Hey. Oh, you looking nappy. What is this get up?
Come on, man. It's a little white coat. What, something wrong with your other eye there?
Hey, ooh, you are still ugly, man. You're as ugly as ever, dude. You know, you think you're smart, too, don't you? That's what too much education does for you. This dude's a college graduate.
Yo, whoa, wait a minute. This dude is a med school graduate.
Oh, you're not serious.
That's a heart attack.
Oh, dude, well, now you are impressing
Well,
me.
yeah, you should be, boy.
I get the feeling you two know each other.
Oh, yeah, Marcus and I... We go way back.
Yeah. I used to keep homie out of trouble.
Yeah, well, don't call me home. Get you into trouble. That's what I want.
Yeah, well, you're still pretty good at getting into trouble now, aren't you, huh?
I need your promise, man. Will you trust me? Will you help?
Well, if I can help, I'll help.
That's not good enough. You know that's not good enough.
All right, man. All right.
Boom. Ta-toom.
Come on. What's up?
So that was pretty clear from the beginning when Marcus risked his medical license to help Steve save Kayla after she had been poisoned by Harper Devereaux, Jack's father.
Look, I'm not moving. Just let
Yo,
me...
you moving your mouth. I said I'd kill you.
Kayla, you don't know who I... Steve!
Caleb!
I'm okay. I'm okay.
Okay, baby.
What am I gonna do?
Hand me the gun. Come on. Say hello to your doctor.
My doctor.
Marcus Hunter.
Nice to meet you.
So from then on, it was just this clear bond. Now, Marcus wasn't in it a lot. He was really on and off, very much a side character, which I believe it was a very big disservice to the actor because he was amazing. Still one of my favorites. Unfortunately, he died in 2004 before Steve was brought back in 2006. So after 1992, when he left, we were never able to see him again on the show, which is very sad. I always wished that they decided to write the show a little differently and brought Steve back earlier, that the actor could have come back and we could have seen who they were even older as friends, because it's not like they ever stopped being friends. Steve died, so, there's that. But basically, the entire storyline was based around him being Steve's friend until he decided to track down his parents. So in 1989, he started having these memories after he heard Faith sing a song in her father's, I'm tempted to call it a cult, but it was some sort of religious organization that he was running. And she sang "Shall We Gather by the River."
Yeah, why not? What was that hymn that you sang the other day?
Shall we gather at the river?
That's it. That's the one. Sing it for me, Faith, will you?
Okay. Shall we gather at the river, where bright angels lead our tribe, where Marcus? Was it okay?
Yeah. It was great. Thanks, Faith.
I should thank you. That hymn is so pretty. It really made me feel better.
Glad.
Which triggered him to have a memory of this dog that he used to have when he was a little boy. As the story goes on, he remembers more and more about his childhood, and he decides that he wants to go looking. He wants to find his parents. He feels like he needs that closure. and the answer as to why he was given up.
You are seeking information on yourself?
Yeah, is that a problem?
Well, wouldn't it be a mite simpler just to ask your mama and your daddy?
Yeah, well, I would if I knew who they were, but I grew up in an orphanage, so I...
Oh, I get it. You've been watching Donahue and Oprah, and you want to find your roots.
Yeah, something like that, yeah.
So what are you doing here in Charleston?
Well, I know I'm from this general area, and I thought this office would be the logical place to start, so here I am.
Yeah, well, I got documents on top of documents. Now, I'd say we should start with whatever we can come up with your year of birth and the other years around.
Right, that'd be late 50s, early 60s.
Okay, I'll be back. Now you know your task is a very difficult one, don't you?
Yeah, and I don't care what it takes either.
So him and an anesthesiologist named Gail that worked there went on a trip with Steve and Kayla and went to find his parents. And so when they did that, Marcus and Gail got closer, and they started something. They started a relationship, but she knew that she couldn't be with him without telling him the truth, that she was undercover ISA, and that she was there to protect him, because someone, a group of people, was trying to kill him, and she was sent to protect him. So, without admitting that, which obviously she couldn't do, they couldn't be together.
And so we're leaving. There's nothing else for us to do here anymore.
Well, at least you don't have to worry about that man that tried to kill Marcus.
But there'll be others. You know it.
Not if Marcus drops the whole thing.
He won't. And it won't be long before he figures out the whole thing.
You got to keep him from doing that.
I don't know if I can, Aunt Lizzie.
You have to if you care anything at all about him.
He's a good friend.
I think it's more than that. You love him, don't you, honey?
So she lied and just said she wasn't interested, and he started having feelings for Faith. And Faith already had feelings for him. She was, completely in love with him, or at least she thought at the time. I mean, they had chemistry. They never allowed them to really be together, but they had really good chemistry, in my opinion. So, by the end of the story, you figure out that he had witnessed something tragic. It's interesting. It's like I've watched all these videos in hopes that somebody would actually give a whole backstory as to who he was, because just because they bring these people into it for the storyline now, I guess it would have been 2022, but it's 2023 now that I'm coming out with this video. And I just really wanted a solid backstory as to who he was and the impact that he had made on the show. He went on to do plenty of other things. A fun fact about the actor is, from what I've read, he wanted to become a doctor until he started acting. And then when he started acting, it turned out he played like 2 or 3 different doctors. So I guess he got the best of both worlds. I don't know. I was just immediately infatuated with the whole storyline and all the characters that were involved, and I felt like it deserved an overhaul of how the whole story played out. It turned out at the end of 1989, you find out that Faith's father was involved in the person that actually blew up the church that Marcus witnessed. So unfortunately, Marcus and Faith never actually got together. I just think it was too complicated, and I think Marcus felt like, Faith's crush would eventually go away. And there was the fact that he was her doctor when she got hit in the head and went blind. So, it's like he didn't want it to be, like, oh, he's my doctor, he saved my life, I love him now. He wanted it to actually be love, and he didn't feel like that would be possible given the fact that her father killed his parents. So, she eventually moved on and met Scott, and he never met anybody. Unfortunately, they never paired him with anybody. serious. They attempted it with multiple people. He ended up falling in love with Kayla after Steve died, and when she couldn't return his feelings, he left town. The thing is with that, they decided to kill Steve off. Okay. Why would they have decided to make her fall in love with Shane of all people? Shane? Really? I mean, that has to break some sort of girl code, falling in love with your sister's ex-husband. Not to mention that you had a perfectly amazing guy in Marcus who was already in love with you. And it wouldn't have been nearly as complicated because you can tell before Steve died he knew that Marcus would take care of her. Like, that was sort of the original way they wanted the show to go. So why did they let her fall in love with Shane, of all people? I don't think I'll ever get over that. Although, I can't ever really see her with anyone but Steve, so... Although I do think Marcus would have been a great, not replacement, but like a great next step in her journey in her life. He was a great uncle, to Stephanie, and I just think it would have been so cool, but it didn't happen. So we got Shane instead. It's, and I'll probably do a more in-depth video of it all once I have the edit done, because that's what I'm working on right now, is all the editing for that specific character for Marcus. He was in it from 87 to 92, which I mentioned prior to saying this now, but I'll eventually have all of that edited and up for sale in my store if you would like it. I will leave a link in this video once it's available and you can purchase it. So the thing is right now I'm very new at this whole video thing. I know how to edit, but to actually be on camera is very new. And, so I haven't written a script for this video. I've probably been everywhere, talking about different things and not making much sense. And I plan on redoing the story about Marcus later, like I said, once I'm a little bit more structured. But I wanted to come on and, talk about it while I felt comfortable and, get a sense of what I really wanted to do with this channel. There's so much I would love to do, and I see it going in so many good places. So right now I'm just ripping the Band-Aid off and going for it. So I would love if all of you would leave comments and give me suggestions, or let me know if you like the format that I'm going for and my view for the channel going forward. If you have any ideas, any characters you'd like me to do some research on before I do character profiles, which is a huge thing I'd like to do. Obviously some of those things will be multiple videos long, like whenever I decide to do Bo and Hope. It'll obviously be that'll be a video series, because they came into it in 1983. He left in 2015. Well, technically he left in 2011 and came back in 2015 just to leave again. Now he was just recently back this year for Beyond Salem. So, their storyline is still continuing. There will be multiple parts to their story, probably as well as Steve and Kayla. But I think what I'll end up doing is structuring this channel so that as the edits come out, as I finish them to go on my store, I will leave a video like this explaining things and how they all went, the storylines and everything, and then leave the link to the product on my store if you'd like to purchase it, because I'm always editing and I'm always adding to my collection. If you see behind me, there's some tapes that I'm ready to sell. So here's my other thing I wanted to go over. I have a bunch of tapes, VHS tapes, varying qualities. I'm going to leave a list. I'm gonna type it out on Facebook in my groups, all 3 of them, so if you're involved in any of them, you'll see it. I'll leave prices next to each of them, and then I just need you to contact me, anyway. You can leave a comment here, you can leave a comment on my Facebook groups, you can message me on Messenger, or email me, which I'll leave my email in the description box below, and just tell me if you want them. Of course, there's 1 of each. I'm also going to be doing the same with DVDs. 1 of each, again, for those. Everything on my store can be bought endlessly, but for the tapes and for these specific DVDs that I will be selling, there's 1 copy and gone. So it will be first come, first serve, anyone that's interested. I'm just, I digitize all of my stuff, so, I have no need for the VHS tapes anymore or the DVDs. They all go on hard drives so that I can make DVDs out of them and, sell them later to you guys. So I'm looking for people that have really waited most of their lives, and it's a goal to collect, whether it be days, or I have some Santa Barbara here, or, Port Charles is coming. I don't have any tapes for that, but that'll be on my store like Days is. I have some General Hospital coming, endless. I mean, my goal here is to collect everything I can get my hands on for US soaps, and even a couple in England if I can. So, I'm not going to say this channel is going to be like the traditional, I'm going to hold a camera and a microphone and I'll eventually build up to that. But right now it's just me and my computer, and I'm talking to you. And I hope that's okay, and I hope that it's something that you guys will enjoy. Hopefully my videos will become quite a bit more structured, and I won't ramble throughout the whole thing like I have today. But it is 10 o'clock at night, and I just decided that I was going to do it. So I hope that's okay. So there's endless amounts of ways to get in touch with me. I have friends that have other things that I don't have. So if you're interested in other soap operas, reach out to me and I'll hook you up with my, the people I know that have them. I really just want this to be a community of for people that love soaps as much as I do. Of course, my expertise does not go into every single soap, but one day I hope it will. I'm slowly collecting everything I can get my hands on. So, I have so much I want to do with this channel, and I hope you guys are interested. And if you are, tell me what you're most interested in. I also do fan fiction. For those of you that don't know what fan fiction is, it's to spin on the storylines, like how I wish they would have happened. Right now I'm working on one for Marcus, where he meets somebody new and falls in love with somebody who didn't exist in the show. I've also done a couple for General Hospital, and I'm working on a couple now. Those will all eventually be posted on my Facebook group if you'd like to view them. But basically, I want to promote the interest in the classics as well as the new stuff, because I know if you're anything like me, the new stuff just doesn't satisfy you anymore. You want the better writing, you want the better acting, and you'll get that in the earlier episodes in the 80s and the 90s, and, that's really what I want to do. There aren't enough people out there that can do that can preserve the classics and give them to you. So that's what I'd like to do. So I guess I've talked long enough, and I just want it to be a cozy place where all of you can relax and listen to the good old days, because that's basically what I'm going for, is the good old days. As far as the new stuff, you'll hear very little from me on that, because I don't know anything about it. I don't follow it for any of the soaps, really. So if you're here, You're here for the classics, for the good old days, to refresh your memory on some of the better times in soaps and TV and music in life. I know I'm young, and it might seem weird, but I've always been interested in the past and how much better the soaps were then. I just have this obsession that I can't seem to shake, so I'm looking for people that can share that with me, I guess. Well, I'm gonna sign off, and I hope to hear from you guys in the comments, and I hope that you guys will enjoy the video and any videos that I tend to post in the future. Okay. Bye, my soap obsessed friends.